So I'm going to explain why I want you all to consider smoking medical marijuana instead of taking hardcore drugs due to addiction, health issues, and costs. So for this presentation, we would have 3 sources, and it was due on December 1st, 2019. So the breakdown of these slides go into the intro and thesis, the main point 1, the main point 2, and the main point 3. And then from there, going into the conclusion. So there are going to be 7 slides altogether. So my intro and thesis would be when I say that I want you all to consider smoking marijuana instead of taking hardcore drugs due to addiction, health issues, and costs. Smoking medical marijuana can help to lower the chances of addiction due to hardcore drugs, which goes into the first slide where I explain why smoking medical marijuana can help to lower the chances of addiction due to hardcore drugs. Then we go to main point 2, which describes that prescription drugs can cause many health issues, which is here. And then I go into main point 3, which says that medical marijuana is more cost efficient than prescription drugs, which is here. And in conclusion, hardcore drugs can cause multiple problems, but you can simply smoke some pot, save money, and live better. Medical marijuana can help things such as addiction to prescription drugs. According to Susan's study, so it's a harm reduction theory, he said. With cannabis, there is no known lethal dose. It can help you be helpful for certain conditions. Some say it's hypocritical because you know you're supposed to go to rehab to get off of drugs. Says Schrank, who recently celebrated 20 years of sobriety from alcohol and drugs. Cessation of drug use can be a goal for some people, but pacing is also important. Some patients want to gradually move into abstinence, weaning themselves off drug over time. Others want to maintain sobriety from a drug by using at least hard drugs such as cannabis. So in the main speech, I'm going to use this to explain why prescription drugs are dangerous for addiction-wise. Due to addiction, you may also experience some health issues. So this is my transition. So according to German Lopez, the major advantage of marijuana as a painkiller is that it could reduce reliance on more addicted or dangerous drugs. One study concluded that marijuana use allowed patients with pain boosts to reduce their opiate use. This quote will lead into the pathway of the way that the medical world uses prescription drugs to help with the pain, but also creates more in the process. And then for the third, we're going to say that along with health issues comes the cost. So the cost of prescription drugs tends to be a little bit more expensive than medical marijuana. Some sources have also worked out that medical marijuana can potentially be cheaper than prescribed drugs. The idea is that a number of grams the plant produces and the cost per gram can be significantly cheaper in consumption than prescription medication. So that's saying that prescribed drugs can be more expensive than the gram of marijuana. When I use this quote in the main speech, I'll reiterate that it shows the relevance of how expensive prescription costs can be, and maybe even throw in a co-wrote about that. So these are my references. So I couldn't figure out how to do the indentation, but these are all of everything that I used. So this is for prescription drugs for medical marijuana. And then this is for the first one, this is for the second one. So the reason that I included these references is because I wanted to say that I was going to avoid plagiarism by citing these sources here in my main speech. In the main speech, I'll go ahead and I'll use the fact that I'll quote them in there.